The number one worst daily habit causing muscle loss and pain. After 60, and most seniors don't even know it, did you ever wake up and feel like your body just isn't keeping up anymore? Your legs feel shaky, your arms heavy, even standing up or getting dressed suddenly takes real effort. Most people blame this on aging. It's just part of getting older, right? But what if I told you that it's not your age at all? In fact, there's one quiet habit, something you're probably doing every single day, that could be secretly draining your strength without you even realizing it. And the scary part? This loss of muscle, called sarcopenia, often starts without pain or warning. By the time you notice it, it may already be making everyday life harder, even dangerous. Millions of older adults are already affected, and many have no idea what's causing it. But there's good news. Today we're going to uncover the 10 most damaging daily habits that quietly weaken your muscles, and we'll count them down to the number one worst habit that nearly everyone does, thinking it's healthy. Stick with me to the end, because what you'll learn here could be the difference between staying strong, active, and independent, or spending your later years depending on others for the basics. But first, tell me, where are you watching from? How old are you? I read every comment, and they help keep this community strong. So don't be shy. Drop a hello below, and let's support each other on this journey to better health. Let's dive in. So, what exactly is sarcopenia, and why should you be concerned? Most people think losing strength is just a normal part of aging. But here's the truth. Sarcopenia isn't just aging. It's a medical condition recognized by the World Health Organization. It's the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength, and it doesn't wait until you're 80. In fact, it can start as early as your 40s, decades before you even notice something's wrong. According to research published in The Lancet Public Health, over 30% of adults over 60 already show signs of muscle loss, and many don't even know it. So here's the big question. What are you doing every day, without realizing, that might be quietly stealing your strength? That's exactly what we're going to uncover next. Because once you see these hidden habits, you'll never look at your daily routine the same way again. Let's jump into habit number 10. Habit number 10, sitting for long hours without moving. Let's start with one of the most common and most underestimated habits that quietly weakens your muscles over time, sitting too much. Now you might be thinking, I walk a little each day. I'm not completely sedentary. But studies show that just sitting for more than 8 hours a day without regular breaks can trigger significant muscle loss, even if you exercise. That's because your body takes cues from your activity level. When you stay still for too long, especially in a chair, your body starts to think, well, maybe we don't need these muscles after all. So it begins to break them down, especially in your legs, hips, and lower back. And it doesn't happen with pain or warning. It creeps in slowly, until one day, getting up from that chair feels harder than it should. According to research published in the Journals of Gerontology, prolonged sitting can reduce balance, shrink muscle fibers, and even increase your risk of dangerous falls. But here's the good news. You don't need to run marathons or lift heavy weights to fight back. Just standing up every 30 to 40 minutes, stretching a bit, or taking a 1-minute walk around the room can help interrupt the muscle loss cycle. Think of these mini movements like signals to your body. We still need strength. Don't shut anything down. And in the next habit, you'll see why these small movements matter even more, especially if your nutrition isn't giving your muscles what they need to stay strong. Habit number 9, poor sleep, or getting less than 6 hours a night. If you think sleep is just about resting your mind, think again. Sleep is one of the most powerful tools your body has to repair and rebuild muscle. Every night while you sleep, your body releases growth hormone, repairs damaged tissue, and restores the energy your muscles need to function the next day. But here's the problem. Most older adults don't get anywhere near enough quality sleep. And if you're consistently sleeping less than 6 hours a night, your body simply can't keep up. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that poor sleep lowers growth hormone levels, disrupts muscle recovery, and even speeds up muscle breakdown, regardless of your diet or exercise. That means you could be eating well and moving daily, but without enough sleep, your muscles are still falling behind. And let's not forget how fatigue affects your motivation. When you're tired, you're less likely to move, less likely to stretch, and more likely to skip the healthy habits that protect your strength. It's a downward spiral, but you can reverse it. So what can you do? Start with the basics. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Avoid screens and bright lights for at least an hour before bed. Create a relaxing nighttime routine, a warm bath, light reading, or calming music. And if you're waking up frequently during the night, your diet may be playing a hidden role, and we'll get into that in the very next habit. Because here's the truth. Even a perfect night's sleep can't protect your muscles if the first thing you eat in the morning is silently breaking them down. Habit number 8, not getting enough high-quality protein. Let's talk about one of the most common and most dangerous nutrition mistakes older adults make: not eating enough high-quality protein. Many people believe that as you get older, you should eat less protein. But the truth is, you actually need more. That's because your body becomes less efficient at using protein to build and repair muscle as you age. It's a natural process called anabolic resistance. And if you don't increase your protein intake, your muscles slowly shrink, even if you're eating 3 meals a day. In fact, a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adults over 60 should be getting 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily just to maintain muscle mass. For someone who weighs 140 pounds, about 64 kilograms, that's at least 75 to 90 grams of protein every single day. But here's the catch. Most older adults are barely getting half that amount, and often it's from the wrong sources. It's not just about quantity. Quality matters too. The best proteins for aging muscles come from complete sources like eggs, yogurt, fish, poultry, and lean meats. You can also boost your intake by combining plant-based sources, lentils with rice, beans with quinoa, or nuts with whole grains. What matters is getting a solid source of protein at every main meal, not just at dinner. And here's something few people realize. When your muscles start to feel sore or weak, many turn to painkillers or anti-inflammatories to treat the problem. But the real issue might be that your body is missing the building blocks it needs to stay strong in the first place. And in the next habit, we'll talk about why relying on those pain meds too often can backfire and actually speed up muscle loss. Habit number 7, overusing painkillers and anti-inflammatories, muscle aches, joint stiffness, that dull, nagging pain in your back or knees. For most people, the first reaction is simple. Grab a painkiller, ibuprofen, acetaminophen, naproxen. They're right there in the medicine cabinet. But here's what almost no one tells you. Relying on these pills too often could actually be making your muscles weaker. That's right. Overusing common anti-inflammatories may silently block your body's natural ability to repair muscle. How? According to research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology, these medications suppress the very inflammation that your body needs in small amounts to rebuild and strengthen muscle tissue. See, after a walk, a workout, or even a minor strain, your body creates a small, controlled amount of inflammation. And that's actually a good thing. It's part of the repair process. But when you take anti-inflammatories all the time, even when they're not absolutely necessary, you shut down that repair cycle. Over time, your muscles don't bounce back the way they should. You lose strength, slowly, silently, and there's more. Long-term use of these medications can also affect your liver, kidneys, and stomach, making it harder for your body to absorb key nutrients like protein, magnesium, and iron, all essential for healthy muscle function. Now, does that mean you should never take them? Of course not. They have their place, especially for short-term relief. But if you're reaching for them daily just to push through pain, it might be time to ask, what's really causing the discomfort in the first place? Because in many cases, that pain could be linked to inflammation coming from your diet. And that brings us to the next habit. Coming up next, the everyday foods that could be quietly sabotaging your muscle strength from the inside out. Habit number 6, eating foods that damage muscle health. You may be doing everything right, eating regularly, staying active, even taking supplements. But if you're still including certain everyday foods in your diet, you could be silently sabotaging your muscle strength without realizing it. Because here's the truth. Some of the most common foods in your kitchen can actively block muscle repair, fuel chronic inflammation, and accelerate muscle loss, especially after age 60. Let's break down the biggest offenders. First up, sugary drinks like sodas or sweetened teas. They spike blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and store fat inside your muscles, making them weaker over time. Then there are processed meats. Sausages, deli meats, bacon. They're loaded with preservatives that damage muscle tissue and raise your risk of metabolic issues. White bread and refined flours. They act like sugar in your body, raising insulin, spiking cravings, and starving your muscles of real nutrition. And of course, fried foods and fast food. These are full of unhealthy fats that fuel inflammation and disrupt your body's ability to build new muscle. Even seemingly harmless snacks like chips, packaged cookies, or light desserts can be loaded with artificial sweeteners and chemicals that interfere with nutrient absorption. Not to mention excess alcohol, which dehydrates your muscles, lowers testosterone, and slows down recovery. Here's the bottom line. All of these foods give you calories, but almost no muscle-building nutrients. And when you eat them often, they slowly drain your energy, weaken your tissues, and leave your body inflamed and tired. So here's a simple question. If you opened your fridge or pantry right now, how many of these are sitting in there? If the answer is more than a few, don't worry. We'll talk about smart replacements in upcoming habits. Because even if you eat healthy, if you're not moving your body in a very specific way, your muscles could still be shrinking faster than you think. Let's take a look at that next. Habit number 5, avoiding all strength-based exercise. If you're over 60, chances are you've been told that gentle activity, like walking or stretching, is enough to stay healthy. And while those are great habits, here's something most people never hear. Avoiding strength-based exercise is one of the fastest ways to lose muscle, mobility, and independence. Let's be clear. Strength training doesn't mean lifting heavy weights at the gym or doing complicated routines. It simply means using resistance, your own body, resistance bands, light dumbbells, to challenge your muscles just enough to keep them strong and active. Because after age 30, your body starts losing 3% to 8% of muscle mass per decade. And that rate accelerates after 60. And without some form of resistance, your muscles shrink faster, your bones lose density, and everyday movements, like climbing stairs or getting off the couch, get harder. But here's the exciting part. You can slow and even reverse muscle loss at any age. In fact, a study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research showed that adults over 65 who did just 30 minutes of basic strength training twice a week saw dramatic improvements in muscle mass, bone, strength, joint pain, balance, and overall energy. And no, you don't need a gym membership. Chair squats, wall push-ups, light band pulls, done safely and consistently, can do wonders for your strength and stability. But ask yourself this. Are you skipping strength exercises because you think they're too hard? Or because no one ever told you they're the key to staying strong for life? Because coming up next, we'll look at something just as important, but often forgotten. Hydration. Yes, water. Because without it, even strong muscles can become stiff, sore, and slow to recover. Let's break it down in the next habit. Habit number 4, not staying properly hydrated. Here's something that catches most people off guard. You can eat well, you can exercise, but if you're not drinking enough water, your muscles still won't function the way they should. That's because water isn't just about quenching thirst. It's the main lubricant your muscles, joints, and cells depend on to do their job. Think of your muscles like an engine. Food is the fuel, but water? That's the oil. Without it, things start to get tight, slow, even break down. When you're dehydrated, even slightly, you may notice more muscle cramps, stiffness and soreness, slower recovery after activity, even a feeling of weakness or fatigue. And here's what most people miss. Hydration affects circulation. When your blood volume drops due to low fluids, your muscles don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need to stay strong. Worse yet, dehydration has been linked to lower bone density and increased risk of sarcopenia, the very condition we're trying to prevent. So how much water is enough? For most older adults, that's around 1.5 to 2 liters a day. More if you're active or live in a hot climate. And here's a tip. Not all beverages count. Caffeinated drinks like coffee or soda and alcohol, they can actually pull water out of your system. So the next time you're feeling tight, sore, or just low on energy, before you reach for a supplement or another snack, ask yourself if you've had enough water today. Coming up next, a common ingredient hiding in many normal foods, one that can dry out your muscles, increase joint pain, and quietly chip away at your strength. Let's take a closer look at that in habit number 3. Habit number 3, consuming refined sugar daily. Let's talk about something sweet that isn't so sweet for your muscles. Refined sugar, it's in cookies, pastries, sweetened cereals, flavored yogurts, even in foods labeled low-fat or healthy. And here's the scary part. Consuming refined sugar daily can quietly weaken your muscles, damage your joints, and speed up aging, even if you're doing everything else right. Why? Because sugar doesn't just mess with your blood sugar. It triggers chronic low-grade inflammation, the kind that doesn't hurt at first, but slowly chips away at your strength. It also disrupts your body's ability to repair muscle tissue. In fact, studies in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that excess sugar reduces your muscles' ability to absorb and synthesize protein, even after exercise. And there's more. Sugar increases the production of free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your muscle cells and accelerate the aging process. Over time, this means more fatigue, less mobility, and slower recovery from even minor physical activity. But here's the tricky part. Sugar is addictive. When you eat it, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical, which keeps you coming back for more. So even when you know it's not helping you, it still feels hard to stop. The good news? You don't need to quit sugar completely. You just need to spot where it's sneaking in and make smarter swaps. Try replacing sweet snacks with fresh fruits, nuts, or even dark chocolate with no added sugar. And start reading labels, because sugar hides under names like fructose, corn syrup, maltodextrin, and dozens more. Because even small daily choices, like skipping that sugary drink, can make a big difference in how strong, steady, and energized you feel. Up next, we're going to talk about one of the most important meals of the day, and why skipping it, or getting it wrong, could be silently draining your muscles before your day even begins. Let's look at that in habit number 2. Habit number 2, skipping breakfast or having only coffee and bread. Let me ask you this. What did you have for breakfast this morning? If the answer is just coffee, or maybe coffee with a slice of toast, you're not alone. It's one of the most common habits among older adults. But here's the thing. Skipping breakfast, or eating one with almost no nutrients, can quietly drain your muscle strength before your day even starts. See, during the night, your body goes into recovery mode. It's fasting, resting, repairing tissue, especially your muscles. And breakfast, that's your first chance to refuel, rebuild, and reactivate your metabolism. But when you skip it, or reach for nothing but caffeine and carbs, you're sending your body the wrong message. Let's run on empty. What happens next? Your muscles don't get the amino acids they need. Your metabolism slows, and your body starts breaking down muscle tissue just to keep up with basic energy demands. Even worse, a sugary, carb-heavy breakfast, like white toast, jam, or sweet pastries, spikes your insulin, causing a crash in energy and focus later on. The result? Fatigue, weakness, less motivation to move your body, and that leads to more muscle loss over time. But here's the good news. A better breakfast doesn't have to be complicated. Start your day with muscle-supporting foods like eggs or egg whites, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, smoked salmon, avocado, a handful of nuts, or even a quick protein smoothie Add in fiber-rich carbs like oats, berries, or whole fruit to support digestion and balance blood sugar. It's a small shift, but fueling your body right in the morning can completely change your strength, energy, and muscle health for the rest of the day. Because if you start your day running on fumes, don't be surprised if your body can't keep up. Next up, we're diving into the most damaging habit of all. It's something nearly every older adult does, especially after meals, and it might be the hidden reason your muscles are getting weaker week after week. Let's break it down in habit number one. Habit number one, sitting for hours after meals. You've just finished lunch or dinner. You're full, comfortable, and maybe a little tired. So, you grab the remote, check your phone, or settle into your favorite chair and stay there. Sound familiar? It's one of the most common habits among older adults, and also one of the most harmful to your muscles. Here's why. When you stay seated and inactive after meals, especially for long stretches of time, you're interrupting critical processes your body needs to stay strong. Your blood flow slows down, digestion becomes sluggish, and worst of all, your muscles get the signal that they're not needed. Over time, that lack of post-meal movement contributes to muscle stiffness, poor circulation, fat buildup, weakness in the legs, hips, and core. And it gets worse, because many people repeat this cycle every single day: eat, sit, scroll, nap, with no movement in between. And even if you're active in the morning or evening, sitting for hours in the middle of the day can undo much of that progress. But here's the easy fix. You don't need to do a workout. You just need to move. Try standing up for a few minutes after meals. Take a short walk around the house. Do a few light stretches. Even washing dishes or tidying up helps stimulate digestion and keep your muscles engaged. Think of it as a message to your body. We're still in motion, stay strong, keep working. Because the truth is, your muscles don't just need food, they need a reason to stay active. Coming up, we'll pull it all together with a quick recap of these 10 daily habits and how just a few simple changes can help you stay strong, steady, and independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. So there you have it, 10 everyday habits that could be silently draining your muscle strength. The good news? You can turn things around. With just a few small changes, moving more, eating smarter, staying hydrated, and fueling your body the right way, you can rebuild strength, restore energy, and stay independent for years to come. Because aging doesn't mean losing power. It means making smarter choices, one habit at a time. So, which habit surprised you the most? Let us know in the comment. And don't forget to like and share this video so others can take their first step towards stronger, healthier living. We'll see you in the next one.